After observing these planets for a couple of days, I've pretty much made the decision that I'm going to stick to 5 factories per planet and just lean more into the P0 to keep those factories running past the extraction cycle. So we're going to make those modifications today. We're also going to be setting up the ice planet, but we're also going to switch over the lava planet because we need non-CS crystals, and this is the only source for that in the system. So we're going to swap this planet over to non-CS, and then our ice planet, which has actually better density for toxic metals, we'll put toxic metals out there for that. But we're going to first move this over here. This is the best spot for non-CS right here on this planet. We'll move everything closer. So this will be a good opportunity just to kind of like go do a pass. We're going to go pick up the stuff out of these two customs offices, just so we can kind of like, you know, get that stuff out of the way. So normally what I'll do here is I'll just go here, go to customs office, warp 0, and then I'll go over here and just automatically access this as well. So we're in the deluge, and we can cover cloak. And this is the first time I've been really kind of using this ship a lot. It's a little bit more easier to optimize for speed and whatnot. So just gonna drag this over, and then we can throw everything in that infrastructure hold, and then we just do the same thing basically for the next one. We'll go and pick up these reactive metals, and then what we'll do is while we're on our way back to the structure, we'll go ahead and drop the command center for the ice planet. That way we don't have to undock again to set that up. So let's go and grab agency, go resource harvesting, go planetary industry, and go and grab that reactive metal, and then we can go dock. Ice is way down here, and we don't really need to worry too much about where we place this, so we're just going to throw it down while we're still undocked. That way it's ready to go, and we'll go ahead and give it a nice upgrade. Just trying to do a couple things at once here to have some time efficiency. But so far the deluge is actually working pretty well. I mean, with the crane, you know, if you want like the 12,000 cubic meters, which is general storage, you got to run expanded cargo hold 2s. Now for this, we don't have to run that. We can run inert stabilizers, which gives us I have like a 3.9 align time, so it's a little bit slower than if like the crane was running inert stabs, but we also have like 45,000 cubic meters to put these commodities in. So now that that stuff is cleaned out, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to take all these out of here. It's going to be easier, and the big reason why I wanted to empty those out was because I want everything to be kind of closer to where we're going to be setting up. So I'm going to go ahead and you can do these individually like this, or you can hit decom here and do it like this, which is a lot quicker. So let's go ahead and hit that. Now let's go back over to our scan. We're going to be non-CS. That is literally the best spot on this whole planet to set up for that. So, and actually let's bring scan down a little bit more and see what kind of direction it's going here. So I think this would be actually a good spot for the extractor. And we're going to go ahead and just double place these extractors, because we know we're going to use 2 extractors with 5 factories. And we'll link these together. And then we'll hit submit. And let's go ahead and get these set up. We probably need let's go and get our launch pad in here. We want our launch pad to be somewhat close, because we want to keep our links. We want to keep our links as short as possible to just save on space. So this will be our primary. So let's go ahead and select non-CS. Go over to a day. So I guess in a sense we're kind of setting up 2 planets on this episode, but by having non-CS and toxic metals and reactive metals and, well, structures, toxic, reactive, precious, it gives us the option to actually we can start putting together things like robotics or consumer electronics or mechanical parts. Actually want to put all these over here because I think we'll get a better yield, and we're already estimated 20 on our hour average. If we just stick to the standardized 5 factories, then we'll be looking at needing about 30,000. So we're at 24 right there with those 10. Go and start that. Go and route it. See what our final number is on this one. It's about 24. And then before we set this second one up, we want to go ahead and get our 5 factories in, just so we know we don't run out of space. So we're going to offset these a little bit. But yeah, we're going to just do 5. And what we'll do is I guess we can just connect all these to this center one, and then we'll go out to there like that. Now, since we have those factories set up, we can go ahead and do this one. I think we'll probably be able to get 3 or 4 on here. So non-CS again, and just bring that up to a day. And then we just kind of add heads until it won't let us anymore. There we go. We got 6 heads, which should be enough to get us to 30. And then we'll I'll update the spreadsheet once we actually get the ice planet all set up. So I don't want the episode to run too long, and we still have to set up a whole other planet, but we're just kind of spitballing it here. So we got 14 on that one. Let's go and get this routed. Submit, and then look at our numbers. We got 12 and 24, so we're good. We're good for those 5 factories. Now we just gotta set these guys up, and we'll go up here to structures. And like always, just store them. And then another benefit of actually resetting these factories like this is like some of these placements. It's a little bit easier because it saves your last selection when it's a new thing. Now we just gotta route the actual non-CS, and then we'll be good to go. The other planet is fine. I think it also has 7 on it. We're gonna take 2 of its factories off, add a few more heads on the second extractor, and then we'll set up ice. So yeah, first we always check and make sure that we're still kind of in the area we need to be in, which we are. And so I think we'll decom these 2. Also cleaned up, well, this one didn't have routes that need to be cleaned up, but there we go. This is the one that actually had less heads on it, so I think we can go 6 on that one. And so we'll just kind of like throw these down over here. Just want to make sure they're not overlapping, because that will give us kind of a penalty on the yield on this stuff. So we got 15 on that one, and we can just go ahead and immediately start that one. That one's already routed up. And we can kind of look at this one. This is going to be 27. So yeah, we'll be well over. And the thing is like when you do more P0 than you need, then even after that 24-hour extractor cycle ends, I've been seeing like on the lava planet when we did that the first kind of cycle or 2, it ran for like another 6 hours. You know, we got like taking like 30 hours on it. You know, and if I would have came in immediately after the 24 hours expired, then we would have had even more kind of stockpiled. So I think standardizing 5 factories and doing it this way is going to be a lot better. All right. Go in this ice planet now. It's already been upgraded. We're all good to go there. So we're going to go heavy metals here. It's also going to be a good planet for water if we ever get to that point. And this is, we've already kind of like looked at the scan for this, but bring it all the way down to white. You see there's no other white anywhere on the planet. So we know this is going to be the best heavy metal spot. So let's expand that down, see what direction we want to go. See, we got quite a bit in this like little area here. So I'm thinking probably right there for the first extractor. And then we'll just go into the next one up, like right next to it. We're going to set these up kind of in the same orientation. Go a little bit faster on this one, since we kind of know what we're doing already. And then we'll bring this scan back down for heavy metals. And we'll see a lot more come off of this planet for sure. This will be our primary, so So we'll go 10 heads here. And then we'll just bring the scan down. You could put that extractor right there in the middle of that and then not have to move the heads at all. But we're going to have these guys. We're going to have these guys set up for a while. So, alright, let's go and move these in. Get out of that so I can actually move my slider. That's what I want to do, is I want to bring it all the way back down before I move them. Wow, that's being ridiculously weird. Okay, there it is. So it's really hard to see on this ice planet because all of these, the opacity on all these heads, and the planet is bluish white. It's kind of, you know, blows everything out. And then I'm curious, we're already at 30 and we haven't got all 10 heads on there, so we should do pretty well on this one. Lost my cursor for a second. We got some overlap on one of these. There we go. So that's going to be 33 on that one. So we'll go ahead and start that, and we just hit the route. And we know we can get probably 6 heads on the second one, but every planet's radius is different. So I still want to just best practice. Let's go ahead and get these 5 factories set up, just so we know, because radius will affect how much the links cost, all that stuff. There we go. And then the same thing here. It's really hard to see the cursor. Like, I'm trying my best to do this as quickly as possible, but the cursor is white and everything else is white. So okay, see, we only got 4 on this one, and that is because of the radius of the planet is greater than what we were dealing with on the barren and on the lava, which means that the links are longer. Technically, even though they look the same length, they're actually longer and take more resources. I did a whole video over power variance and all that stuff, so if you want a little bit better explanation of what that means, you can check out that video. Alright, we're good to go here. Now we just need to set this up for toxic. Same thing as before. And sometimes you gotta do this. Sometimes, like, you'll, depending on if your plans change for what you want to do with PI, sometimes you gotta swap planets over. I know we've done a lot of modifications to our setup and a lot of changes, even in like the first 3 days, but it won't always be like that. Essentially, since we're standardizing for 5 factories in high sec, we can pretty much stick to that and not have to worry about too much. My main overall goal is going to be to just kind of stockpile like maybe 1 million of every P1 that's available in this system. I'm not going to run any process plants right now. We will introduce process and stuff when we get a decent amount of P1 and stuff kind of stockpiled and everything. But that's going to be it for this episode. We've got everything set up. We got the lava planet switched over. Everything's reset for 24. And tomorrow we'll come back. We'll probably do another run, pick up everything, and set up the next planet, which will probably be precious metals, which I think is going to be probably our lowest yield in this system, if the density that I've already seen is any indication for that. So